New South Wales Police early this morning have raided 5 premises across southwestern Sydney in relation to a sophisticated piracy syndicate which has been operating across the Greater Sydney area for the last 12 months.
Okay, sure. Have you got any idea of how much this operation is worth in general?
Look, it'd be very difficult to put a numerical value on it, but certainly we're talking about hundreds of thousands of discs. This will undoubtedly be the biggest seizure of pirate music in Australia.
Okay, sure. And how long has it taken for police to catch these guys?
Well, this operation, we believe, has been going on for 12 months. Certainly, industry have been investigating the activities of this organised syndicate for well over 12 months, and they have moved. They've been operating in a very clandestine nature, moving across Sydney to avoid detection. The operation is sophisticated, involves hundreds of thousands of discs, and potentially, obviously, hundreds of thousands worth of damage to the music industry and the film studios.
Sure. Okay. So I mean, who will benefit from this?
The real benefits from these sort of operations are the local community. Absolutely, the people who are suffering because of piracy, no matter what industry group, are the local retailers. It's your mum and dad investors who own local shops, local stores, who are unable to compete with these pirates because they're just stealing other people's work.
Okay. Alright, sure.
We're seeing every other day, we're getting reports from local retailers, whether it be in the music or film industry or the gaming industry, about people trying to make a living and they can't compete with illegal products. This is no different to people selling stolen property at the pub. Local retailers are suffering, and we hope that today's operation will help them.
The officers are basically opening boxes that have been recovered from the storage unit. Some of them are empty. Some of them are containing pirated discs. Some of them are containing empty discs that are waiting to be pirated. Some of them are containing covers, empty DVD and music cases. So every stage of the operation is being unfolded from within the storage warehouse.
Sure. What I've got is a copy of a legitimate sample, and if you notice, the packaging's really good packaging. Artwork's really good. Has an identifying logo on it, things like that. When you open them up, the artwork's really good on the inside property. A legitimate disc, will be silver in colour. Okay, will have not much of a rainbow effect in it. But the most important thing is when you look at them, and you're not going to be able to see it on camera, there's a thing called an IFPI code, or a SID, a source identification code, and it's imprinted in the disc. These aren't actually burnt, these are pressed, as opposed to burnt. When they're pressed with this IFPI code. This IFPI code identifies what factory anywhere in the world has produced this. That produces a copy of it. We know that's legitimate. When the pirates of these products do it, this is what you normally end up with. So you've got the packaging's obviously nowhere near as good. The artwork on the front disc isn't good. Doesn't carry things like copyright warnings or anything like that. When you go to the next disc, they're all blanks. And the most important thing is, have a look at the back. It's blue or purple in colour, and this has been burnt rather than pressed. There's no source identification code on them. They might have a batch code on them, but that's pretty much it. Sure. That's the differences between them.
Around 7 a.m. this morning, police from the Camden Local Area Command and the Region Enforcement Squad conducted a number of search warrants in the Smeaton Grange and Mt Annan area. As a result of those search warrants, a significant quantity of pirated DVDs and music CDs were found. We understand that from the music industry that this particular find this morning is the largest find in Australia to date. It represents a fairly significant dent in the pirating music and DVD industry.
Any estimation of how many DVDs were found?
Look, we're still going through the counting process. Early estimates are, well over hundreds of thousands. It's difficult to put an exact quantity on it, but I would suggest that it'd be well and truly over into hundreds of thousands.
How much money, I guess, does the industry lose every year by these kind of syndicates that do pirate DVDs?
There are dramatic losses to the industry every year, but what we say to people is, look, this is not about industry losing money every day. What you have to understand is that people in the community, your local retailers, local mum and dad investors who are trying to make an honest living in the lead up to Christmas can't make a dollar, can't make an honest buck because these pirates are trading off other people's hard work.
And we can expect more raids in the coming days and weeks?
Well, the investigations are continuing, and that may well be the case. We can't rule anything in or out at this stage.
And when are you expecting to lay charges? or make arrests?
We anticipate that that'll be imminent.
And approximately how many officers from Camden LAC were involved?
It was approximately about half a dozen from Camden, but we also had some backup from the Region Enforcement Squad.
Sure.
A similar number.
So in total, how many would have been involved
Up
in
to
the
15.
raids? Up to 15 in total. Okay.
I think, as Dean suggested, just be careful when you are buying movies and music CDs, and reassure yourself that they are genuine articles. Because, again, as Dean indicated, where it's hurting the people, the shop owners and the local businesses that are trying to run a legitimate business.